Greetings, everyone. I'm doing the thing again where I clap and all the cat hair on the microphone flies toward the camera, but it is I, Matt Hall, here with another weekly update here on the Hidden Machine Annex. You know, I started using these thicker windscreens on the microphones because I just wanted to give them a shot, and also because most days lately I'm running the AC in here. I was running the AC during one of the most recent videos I did. I think the comic book video had the AC running, and also our yet to be released Yeah, I've Played on Deadly Premonition. That also had the AC. Now I use a program called RX that does a pretty tight audio restoration thing. It's a suite of tools used for different types of audio cleanup and restoration, and I think I get pretty good results. I know I could get better results. I've actually heard better results with Adobe's AI sound cleanup tool. I don't know what it's called, but someone showed me some examples of their work with it recently, and I was very impressed. But I bought RX. I'm going to keep using it until I can't, because I'm not going to give Adobe any more money. And I kind of got out of pirating software. I might pirate a game every now and then still, but I just don't really do it that much. I'll pirate stuff that's out of print or unavailable, no problem. But regardless, I guess that's what the main focus of this video is giving an update. And the update that I was going to give was mentioned earlier, Deadly Premonition, our most recent episode of Yeah, I've Played that we recorded last night. I got done listening to the full 5-hour recording and editing it down, taking out all the really bad stuff that we say. No, just kind of editing. We had to take a few breaks in between, bathroom breaks for TT. Nothing crazy. And it was a very interesting experience, and I'll let the video speak for itself, but that was a Patreon request from Will. Sent that in, so thank you, Will, and glad I finally got to play the game. We go into getting the game running on modern PCs. Of course, the graphics, sound, presentation, mechanics, and the story. We do about 4.5 hours on the story alone. Quite an experience, Deadly Premonition. I would love to play the sequel, but not just yet. We're going to take a break from that, and the next game for Yeah, I've Played after this next episode drops, which I'm thinking Deadly Premonition is going to drop probably Monday or Tuesday. I will try to finish it tonight, and if so, I'm just going to put it out for, Saturday or whenever, but it's a motorcycle going by. Probably a motorized bicycle, actually, but yeah, I will try to, but I'm so fucking busy, which is also why I haven't done an update video in a minute. I'm really, really busy in my AFK life. And summer is the busiest season for me as a person and as a musician. I play a lot of live music, and we're gigging sometimes twice a week, and then I have personal stuff going on, my wife's birthday, my sister's wedding, my dentist appointment, a lot of things, 4th of July parties I have to not go to, all sorts of stuff going on this summer, and it's just the busiest time. So this is the longest break we've had maybe ever in new videos posted to the main channel. Thankfully, Jordan is streaming over there and keeping things afloat, and we've got, of course, these wonderful update videos here on the second channel, the Hidden Machine Annex, but it's killing me. I have all these videos that I've been piecemeal. I look like I'm real tiny today. I have all these videos I've been piecemeal putting together in my few spare hours, and also I'm having crazy allergy stuff going on. I feel like I've been out drinking all night when I wake up some mornings. Just crazy sinus pain, and I've tried an allergy pill. I don't really like taking medications. Didn't do anything. Maybe if I started taking them regularly, but I don't really want to get into that. So recently I did get this xylitol congestion relief spray that has purified water, xylitol, aloe vera, sodium chloride, grapefruit seed extract, and how do you say that? Capsicum? Oleoricin. These are words I've never heard out loud. I have no idea how they're pronounced. But I thought people say capsaicin. That might not be the correct pronunciation, but the Kinect pronunciation, actually, if you're using motion controls. Yeah, you get a slight burn with this, because I think that the capsaicin stuff is from hot peppers, isn't it? I think. Regardless, wow, this really gave me some relief. Obviously, it doesn't clear up my actual allergies, but it helps relieve the symptoms of the allergies, if that makes sense. And that's all most medicine is doing anyway, is usually just relieving or sometimes just masking your symptoms, leaving you sick so you can continue to buy those relief products instead of one that's actually going to get to the source of the issue. Sometimes there is no cure for, going to the source of the issue. Not to get on a rant, but that's why I don't usually take a lot of over-the-counter medicines or prescription medicines, because I just kind of go like, it's not something I want to get into. But no shame on anyone who does whatever they do for their own body. I'm not going to get out here and get on, a soapbox about that. Anyway, that's why I'm not really putting any videos out. And it's making me so tired and I'm so stressed out. But I also feel pretty fucking good, which I think I said in the last video. So I have had a little free time. I'm going to take a little sip of LaCroix. Got about an hour into Killer 7. I'm using an upres mod and also a restoration upres mod for the FMV cutscenes. And it looks nice, and I'm really happy with it. The PC port is pretty good anyway. There's a few minor graphical issues, like a couple transparencies and minor things that just don't carry over from the GameCube version. But it looks great in 16:9. You can press F9 on the keyboard at any time to swap back to 4:3 if you want to. It's a really tight port, and it's such a good game. I don't know, we'll talk about it for hours and hours and hours, but it feels like such a great continuation of the 16-bit era to me in a lot of ways. Like, every level in Killer 7 feels like another sort of like Zelda dungeon or something, with the backtracking and the puzzles and piecing it all together. And then the shooting, not 16-bit era graphics, but that era of gaming, it really reminds me of, that early to mid 90s light gun games, which also, we're going to do some light gun videos soon. I got 2 of these set up, and they're the Sinden light guns. I got them 2 years ago at the end of December 2022. It has the reload. I do not have the pedals. I've been thinking about getting the pedals, but I don't use this enough to justify buying the pedals. But I got those a while back when I had a little windfall and said, I gotta get these. These are so cool. Because I had the gun cons for PS2, and I had like 4 or 5 light gun games. But unfortunately, I couldn't find a working CRT after my CRT died. I had this huge CRT I found on the side of the road. It was great for light gun games. And that's just not something I want to get into, doing again, having a giant CRT. So these Sinden light guns work great. I don't know what they cost anymore, if the price has gone up or down. They're made to order pretty much in batches, and they're really good. And I just got time recently to take 30 minutes to set them up and try them out on a game, and really good. But the shooting in Killer 7 is very similar to those old on-rails first-person light gun games. And it just feels like they took a lot of the sensibilities from kind of an earlier time in gaming and crafted it with this presentation, like the writing is one thing. I love the writing. It's you know, it's similar. If you're into like Kojima, you're gonna like this. It's quirky, it's, you know, pop culture-y, but it's also very political. It gets into a lot of heavy topics, and it does handle it in a very entertaining way, in my opinion. But visually, the cel-shaded graphics, I mean, look so good here. And it was something that didn't really pick up. I remember it was super controversial when Wind Waker was first shown with the cel-shaded graphics. Like, a lot of people loved it, a lot of people hated it, but it was very, like, polarizing. And it for a time seemed like maybe a style that would become more prominent. Not to say it hasn't been used since, but it seemed like there was a chance it might push through, and it really never did. But the games that used it tend to hold up pretty well visually because it's such a clean style, especially if you're playing at a higher resolution. It's just, you know, it's sweet. So I'm really excited. I beat that game. I lent it on GameCube back in the day. Haven't beaten it since. I've played most of the PC port, but stopped. That was actually one of the first playthroughs we did on the channel. Andrew and I think he was playing Killer 7. I was kind of just, you know, in the co-pilot seat. And we had something like a corrupted save or a corrupted recording session. We were like, fuck. Or maybe we lost I feel like we lost the save file for some reason. Because it was like, oh god, we gotta do that all over again. And maybe the game crashed before we could save. Something happened. I don't remember. And then we were just like, I don't have the fucking patience to do this again right now. And had to move on. But I'm pumped to play through it again. It's such a good game. I want to gush right now, but I'm not going to. Those are the main things. I've also got a brief video in the works that I've got the script ready to go. And I wanted to add a few things after we had our discussion, Jordan and I, but a little beginner's tips video for Deadly Premonition, because there's a lot of stuff that I think would have made my experience of the game more enjoyable if I had known them ahead of time. If you're someone who loves to go into a sort of obtuse game totally blind and just uncover mechanics on your own, this game is great for that. But if you're someone who goes, my threshold's here for tolerance on annoying or shitty stuff in a video game, well, Deadly Premonition is way past that tolerance level. Deadly Premonition, you need a tolerance like, you know, you need a super high tolerance, I think. Personally speaking, as someone who plays a lot of games and has played a lot of games from every decade over the past 60 years, yeah, I don't know, man. It's a tough game to get into. There's a lot of stuff I go, what the fuck? Why did I not know this 8 hours ago, you know? Stuff that I revealed to Jordan during our playthrough. He finished the whole game and did a bunch of side content that he didn't figure out. What is going on with that game? Well, you'll find out when you see the episode of Yeah, I've Played, but there is a sort of spoiler-free beginner's tips video that I'm going to share that I think will be fun for people who want to get into the game. Because it's one of those games too that like the barrier to entry is so high because of how bad some of the ports are, that to get it running at the frame rate and performance level in terms of crashes and stability, to get it running at like an acceptable level is like not the easiest thing. It runs better on older hardware, but you know, a lot of gamers don't keep older systems. I mean, many do, but you know, a casual gamer who's like, I got a PS5, like, I want to play this game I heard was cool. Oh, I got to fucking buy a system from 20 years ago to play this? What? Oh, I'll get the PC port. Oh, it's broken? You know, it's like, it sucks. It's not the kind of thing you can just jump into like you can something like Killer 7, which has a really solid port on Steam, and I think it's on GOG. Excuse me for drinking on camera. It's just a LaCroix. It's just a lime LaCroix. So there's a bunch of other videos that will be coming that I've been talking about and teasing that they never stopped being in production. It's just so busy for me. I have so few free hours, and when I do have free hours, sometimes often, especially in these months recently, it's like I'm having allergy issues, and it's like making it hard to look at a computer screen. It's making it hard to focus or to think critically at all. So I spent a lot of time just kind of going, oh. And it's inconsistent. And it's not like I've been dealing with allergies my whole life. It's been a more recent thing in recent years. And it's like we just moved to a new neighborhood 2 years ago or 1 year ago now. I'm not sure, like, you know, there's the river there. There's different kinds of trees. I'm not really sure like what my triggers are at this point. So it's not that big of a deal, except in the realm of Hidden Machine, it's a big deal where it's not the real world and minor problems from real life are amplified because, you know, the whole little ecosystem is based on us making videos and you watching them. What a funny little world. A couple things I want to share. Recent thrifting haul. I got recent thrifting haul. That's my alias here. So I got one issue of Slash Maraud. I think this is a 4 or 6 issue miniseries that I just think is so much fun. I saw this on a Facebook group a while ago or something. Maybe it was Cartoonist Kayfabe group even. I thought I left that group a long time ago, but yeah, this is not the ideal way to look at a comic book, but there's a lot of, I'm not even sure if I'm showing good pages. I don't know. I just think, yeah, oh, this is a great spread. I think the comic looks so good. It's very fun character designs. I saw, oh, it's a 6-part miniseries. Yeah, so this, I don't even know who these guys are. Munch and Galassi? Well, this is really cool. I love the art, love the colors especially. Just great vibrancy. Lots of nice use of pinks, light blue, crisp reds. Very good. Would love to find more of these. Also an ad for Blackhawk in the back. This Chaikin rules, Blackhawk rules. I'd love to find the rest of those. I just don't want to buy them online. I like finding stuff in the wild, you know, and it's harder and harder to do that when there's more and more people buying and reselling on eBay, but that kind of stuff goes up and down for different hobbies and different types of products, basically. But that was something I was excited to find because I had just learned about it and then found one of the issues. I also got this. This was like $5. This is a Citizen from Steely Dan. It's a box set. It's 8 years worth of music. I don't think these are full albums, actually. It's hard to tell. I think it's from the time, too, when they were kind of like repackaging a lot of material on CD for people. But it comes with this big book. I love Steely Dan, but I'm not like super deep into them, if that makes sense. You can see there's just like, you know, writing about the music and stuff. Like I am really into them, but their history is so rich that I know that like what I've experienced is just scratching the surface, if that makes sense. Like I've watched a couple of their like, you know, videos they produced. They produced like a couple like making of videos for different albums and things, and really fun promotional videos and stuff. And they did a VH1 Storytellers appearance that's really funny. They just kind of roast the concept of the show the whole time. Even their liner notes are a hoot, in my opinion. I got into Steely Dan through the Mountain Goats, who did a bunch of Steely Dan covers over the years, to my memory. Dr. Wu. Some other ones, I believe. It's a distant memory now. Speaking of musical memories, another thing I got was Usher. My Way, the first Usher album. I think this is the first album. His big first major label release, I believe. It's got You Make Me Wanna, Nice and Slow. I love this song, My Way. And the extended version of You Make Me Wanna, which I think is a great mix. It is online, you can listen to it. I think it's a great version of that song. Also, total shock, King Yellowman. Now this is the first Yellowman record pressed in the US. And it says here between 1981 and 1984, he made over 20 albums. He started in 79. He is one of the kings of dancehall reggae. I love him. I got to see him live. It was very inspiring. The energy he had was amazing. Just such a and his songs are hilarious. You know, he used to be known for doing very raunchy sex comedy type songs, almost like a Blowfly at times. But he was also very sexy and cool in his own way, you know, like on stage and as a personality. So it wasn't really self-deprecating, but it was like, you know, raunchy. But over time he renounced that and, you know, went for more positive messages, but still love all of his work, even the later stuff, and shocked. Someone's yelling outside of my house really loud. Maybe they'll pick up on the mic. Sounded like a table saw was going for a moment there. Yeah, just shocked to find a Yellowman record in Plattsburgh, New York. That's all. I found one other one, but it was at a record show with a bunch of out-of-town vendors, so that doesn't really count. I also got a collection of Fritzy Ritz, which is the strip that Nancy by Ernie Bushmiller would become eventually. It was kind of like a gag comic that starred like a, you know, a classic pinup style cartoon lady, often drawn in a sexy pose, maybe in a bikini. And her niece, Nancy, came to visit one time, and then Nancy took over the strip, and it became Nancy. And so, because those comics are in the public domain, somebody's been reprinting them. From the, you know, I think it ran from like the 30s to the mid 50s, if not a little earlier. Bushmiller had been in the game for a long time. Might have my dates wrong, but I think at least the 30s through the 50s. And it's really fun. I would show it, but I don't have it on me. But if you're a Nancy fan, or if you've seen Nancy around online, the Fritzy Ritz stuff and the Phil Fumble stuff that was happening before that is often, I think, just as good as anything in Nancy. And it's obviously, I think the Nancy stuff came to a sort of like peak creatively for a lot of people, but a lot of that older stuff is still really, really funny and drawn really well. Not that you come here for Nancy talk, but if you do want to talk Nancy, I'm here anytime. And that's mostly it. I'm actually taking a little break in the middle of my work day. Here's an MP3 player. This is a cute little MP3 player I'm just holding for some reason. It's got a little belt clip on it. But yeah, I'm super, super busy, but I am finding time to finish this Deadly Premonition video, and I think it's very funny, and then more videos will come, and this is just a quick little update. I'm not even going to edit this, really. I'm going to just put it out. I don't think I said anything incriminating or anything I regret, which often happens. I go, I regret saying that online. What was I thinking? I must have been drunk. But yeah, there's a lot more I'd like to share in a proper update, but I'm taking a break from work, and I gotta go back to work. And I just wish I could share more, but it's not the right time. I'm sorry, babe. But I'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. And Hidden Machine will never die. And I'm gonna come and turn this off.